Hello and welcome to Monza. We are in the 2024 Invitational Series, so you have to be fully upgraded to have access to this. This is the 2024 Formula One Red Bull car, the RB20. Now, to pull this off, you have got to master the left-hand cut, which is tricky because that time I hit the wall. I don't like to hit the wall. It's not horrible. It's better to hit the wall than the barrier. So the wall's on the left, the barrier's on the right. You hit that barrier and it is dead stop, damage to your car. It's not good. So if you're gonna hit anything, hit the wall. It's nice if you hit nothing. Very difficult. There's only about a foot on either side of your car. So that's tricky. This car is, these cars definitely the best Formula One cars we've seen from any season as far as the performance. It's pretty incredible. You can drive this pretty aggressively, as you're noticing. I will keep on taking two cuts, although the second cut, later on, you could skip it. You do not need to take it. In fact, it's dangerous to take it later on. Second cut, well, you'll see that right away. Nice thing I like about this steering wheel is that the time's there, the lap times are there. That's awesome in endurance races. Because the only other way to know is to actually go back like this once you've done a screen recording and time it. Now, it's possible to do a sub 1 minute lap taking these off-track cuts. It's tricky. Now that is aggressive. It's interesting that we're in the RB20 Invitational, but all the other cars are here. Eventually, they won't be. Eventually, you end up with just a bunch of Red Bulls, I think. Pretty sure that's the way it is. Now, so coming to the Ascari chicane, the first lap, like the bots are horrible. Oh boy, that is not intentional. That's a disaster. You do not want to go off track there. It really, you lose a lot of momentum. I'm losing earnings. Oftentimes, I would actually restart a race at this point because that's a big mistake this early on. I just don't like that for video purposes. It's not horrible. It wasn't damaging. But it's really going to push back the perpetual point because the perpetual point is all about passing 42 cars. It's not about how far you get. But if you don't pass 42 cars soon enough, you'll run out of time. And you already know that if you haven't seen this before because you've run out of time lots and lots of endurance races. So this is the cut that's sketchy, that you don't necessarily need to take coming up here. You'll see what I mean. It won't take us very long to get to the perpetual point because this car is so stinking fast. And I keep on encountering people at the wrong times. Like this guy is going to be in the perfectly wrong place at the Ascari chicane. And that's risky. That actually was an interesting overtake. Scraping by him like that. Not necessarily something you want to do. Unassisted, you can go over 380 kilometers an hour heading to Parabolica in this car. That's just downright crazy. Like that's just nuts. So, I'm doing better, but I'm still going over 1 minute. Not by a lot, though. That lap time, that was pretty low. So, taking this nice and clean. Oh, big hit. Something that you may not know about if you haven't done this very much is that when you're off track, the track grabs you. It's interesting. There's a pulsing effect that happens with your steering, and it comes at a steady beat. So, once you learn the pulse, you can learn when to steer. If you are trying to steer right when a pulse hits, you're going to go sliding like crazy. Oop. You can tell we're getting close to the perpetual point. That might be it. He just outraced me. I'm not damaged yet. And he just outraced me. So we must be right on the cusp of it. Well, we'll leave this recording going. I'm just showing you that it's not as hard as you might think. Oh, that's just embarrassing though. I'm driving really aggressive. So what, is this going to be 103? Let's just see here. Oh, maybe not that bad. Let's see. Well, maybe 2. Pretty close. I was pretty close on that guess. Okay, so come on, slice and dice this. Again, nicking that wall. It's not great. It's not horrible. So here's where the second cut gets tricky because the cars are suddenly closer together and they're taking it fast. So you could actually skip this and slide through the chicane. Still, you can still catch a car. You won't catch 2. You can catch 1 for sure. Heading into this corner, you can. Oh, I didn't want to. Oh, come on. So I went off track on the inside. That threw off my handling. I didn't try to steer as aggressively because I would have lost it. And then I go off track again. So, oh, come on. Well, you're getting a chance to see that this isn't that hard. And this is definitely going to be affecting my earnings per minute. I mean, not a lot. I'm going to go pretty far, so it's going to average out. But it's just, you could be earning more. It's probably another 102, 103 lap. Oh, or 104, looking at this. Oh, no, not as bad as I thought. But still, I'm not happy. But that's okay. The cut's a little bit better. So you'll notice, sometimes you might ask, why is he staying off track for so long? That's because I'm waiting for that pulse. I am steering, but the car doesn't want to steer when there's a pulse like that. And if you really you're really twisting. So when the pulse happens, you might feel like, oh, I've got to steer more because the car's not wanting to steer. No, it's in the middle of a pulse. And as soon as that pulse is done, you'll get control back, like full control back, and the car is going to really take off on you. So you got to be careful. There we go. Come on, am I going to get you? Oh, I'm not going to get you. Okay, well, let's get some nice slipstreaming. Now I got to be careful. I'm not used to hitting parabolica at like 387. That's pretty crazy, actually. And let's just warp ahead here. Already, you're kind of seeing the rhythm. So we're going to warp ahead quite a lot. This was that was getting into lap 7. This is lap 19. So that's pretty far already. And I'm still nicking that wall, trying to get back on track. And just being careful with this. We're not going to go too much further than this because already I was starting to get suspicious that I had damage, and I don't really know when it happened for sure, but I just noticed my handling was starting to feel a bit different. It is important to know when you're damaged because you need to adjust your handling. Specifically, parabolica gets nasty if you're damaged. So 370, I mean, I don't know. Let's see here. What can I hit going down here? No, I'm not hitting the speeds I'm expecting there. Nope, I'm definitely damaged. Let's check this out. Let's take a quick peek to see how damaged I am. Oh yeah, that front wing's all chewed up. There's actually some side body damage too. Okay, that's explaining things. So that means I actually should take it a little bit easier when I'm off track when I'm heading to certain corners like parabolica, because I could suddenly lose it badly. And that's easy to have happen here. But at this point, I'd say I've got maximum damage. And you actually don't get maximum damage just from driving off track. They say your car gets damaged by driving off track. That's just the type of damage that you see deducted in R dollar races. They don't deduct anything in M dollar races. So that type of damage, like, yes, you'll have to service the car, but so what? You do a handful of laps, you're servicing the car anyway. Like 2 laps at Le Mans and you're servicing your car. So whatever, who cares about that? It really doesn't hurt your fame earnings at all. It doesn't matter how damaged you get. So anyway, and we'll just do maybe another lap or 2 here. Let's see here. That wasn't bad. Let's see what my lap times are like here. So interestingly enough, like here I am with heavy damage. I'm still running pretty fast. Like I'm certainly not going to run sub 1 minute times with maximum damage, but like that was pretty good. That was a pretty good cut. Again, you got to be careful getting yourself back on track. And we won't go too much further than this. Now the nice thing about this is it's easier to see where I can slice. Oh, oh gosh, that was close. I mean, I had a lot of laps that were okay. I didn't have any incredible laps. To me, an incredible lap is when I'm sub 1 minute. That's incredible. So I didn't manage to pull that off. But watch this. Watch the Ascari chicane. Like, almost no braking really is needed. And then nice slipstreaming, but just not hitting those speeds. We're actually going to end the race right here because of what's about to happen. So I'll go back and finish there. If you run the 20-lap race, you'll get $225,000 M dollars. I basically just ran 20 laps, so oddly enough, this doesn't seem to pay as much. Fame is the same, the M is not. Actual race time, 21 minutes, 49 seconds. I was earning 1,720 fame per minute. To get your full $250,000, you'd have to go 147.88 kilometers. This is fun for a change and it pays decent. So please like and subscribe. Check out some other stuff. Bye-bye now.